So a couple of you guys asked me to show you how to make Southern biscuits, and I'm going to show you that. There are several ways of doing it. There is no right or wrong way, but I'm just going to show you how I do it personally. And I will tell you, it's less about the ingredients, like measurements and proportions, as it is about technique. So I'll show you how to do it. Okay, so basically what I do is I have about 2.5 to 3 cups of self-rising flour. Then I take 1 stick of butter, and you're going to grate it in. You could just like scoop it out if you don't have stick butter, which I've had to do sometimes. It's just easier to mix into the flour. And basically what you're doing, the thing that you're looking for, is you kind of want to keep cutting it into. Now the butter has to be super cold, because the colder it is, the more flaky your biscuit's going to be. So you're basically just cutting it into the flour, and the reason, what you're looking for is it to almost look like the consistency of maybe cornbread mix or cornbread meal. You're looking for kind of a more coarse looking flour. Now my granny is the one who showed me how to do this, and like I said, there are no like true measured out ingredients. It's kind of all by sight and by just feel. Making biscuits is more of a technique and less of a science, let's put it that way. It's just something that you have to learn. But I'll be honest with you, once you figure it out, once you've learned it, you'll never be able to mess it up after that point. So I've got all the flour, and you just kind of push it to the side. And Granny says make a well. So you just make a little well here. And as far as the milk goes, there's no measurement. You just kind of pour some into the well, like so. And then you just mix it in. I know there's a shadow on the video, but I have no cameraman, so it is what it is. And you're going to mix it. If you don't have enough milk, you add more, which is exactly what we're going to have to do. But like I said, guys, this is more technique than it is actual measured out ingredients. So it's all about sight. What should it look like? Most Southern cooking is that way, to be honest with you. It's not as much of, you know, and it's not just the South that does this too, it's the Amish. I have several Amish cookbooks, and a lot of them list the ingredients as a pinch of this or a dash of that, or, you know, they have like a palm full of this. So it's more sight cooking. So it's kind of hard to explain. So when your biscuit dough looks like this, nice and soft, you move to the next step. So on a well-floured surface, you're going to put out your biscuit dough here, and then what makes the flaky, layery biscuits is folding it over itself. Now, you don't want to overwork it. This is one of those things that, again, it's all about the way it feels and looks, not as much of an exact. So you're just going to kind of fold it over itself and keep doing that, and that will give you the more layered out biscuits. You only have to do it a couple times because you don't want to handle it too much, because you want to keep that butter very, very cold. I improvised and just cut a little cup. Just whatever biscuit cutter. I don't have a biscuit cutter. Never have. You just cut out the biscuits you want, load them in. And you can make them pretty much any size you want to. Some people don't even use biscuit cutters as much as they literally just kind of pinch off a piece and then shape it. I've seen a lot of people do that, and it works just as well. So, I mean, it's just totally up to you however you want to do this. Now, these are pretty big dang size biscuits, because my kids like to put eggs on them and cheese on them and such like that. If you have a little bit of leftover dough, just re-sprinkle it out. You're going to kind of do the same thing to kind of get as many biscuits out of it as you possibly can. But my kids like scrambled eggs and cheese and jellies and different things like that. We went to the Amish farm and got some peach jelly, so we'll probably do peach jelly today on these biscuits. So I have a little chunk of dough left over. It doesn't really look like a biscuit, but I'm about to make it look that way. This probably will not be the best of the ones that are in there. It probably won't taste the best, but that's all right. It'll probably be Mama's biscuits. That's just the way it goes. So All right, we got them all in here. You do not have to grease this, believe it or not. As long as it's like a non-stick surface or a glass surface, something like this, you don't need to grease it. There's enough butter in here, it ain't gonna stick. So, and then I'll show you what happens next. So I just got them out of the oven, and I'll be honest with you, it took about 20 minutes, 25 minutes, something like that. So it depends on how brown you want your biscuits. Here's the secret though, guys, the secret tip. The secret tip is this: when they come out, cover the tops in butter. That is a secret. If you just leave them the way they are, they're kind of dry, or they can be a little bit more dry. Make sure you just slather them bad boys in butter. Listen, this is the South. This ain't good for you. Never will be. Butter is the king. So, you're the king? You are? Livy says she's the king.
Livy's the queen and I'm the king.
Livy's the queen and you're the king?
Yeah. I'm queen.
Alright guys, so that's how you make a Southern style biscuit. Simple as that.